Welcome to 2 Minute Review, a Manticore Media podcast. I'm Michael Navarro, and today's film is It, Chapter 2, starring Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, Bill Hader, and Bill Skarsgård. The second installation of the film, based on the Stephen King novel, picks up 27 years after the events of Chapter 1. The Losers Club have all grown up and gone their separate ways until a string of murders persuades one of them to call everyone back home. So let me get to the good stuff first, because this review isn't all sunshine and rainbows. And let me state that I haven't seen the original TV movie since the 80s, so I don't remember enough about it to influence my opinion on this version. The movie itself looks good. It still held up to the atmosphere of Chapter 1 while aging both the characters and the city of Derry, Maine. James Ransone was perfectly cast as the adult version of wisecracking Eddie. Had you told me he and the actor who played young Eddie were related, I would believe you. And Bill Skarsgård gives another great performance of Pennywise. But now let's get to the bad stuff. The CGI sucked. You could tell a big difference between the monsters created using practical effects and those that were computer generated. It was enough to take me out of the movie. And then there was the de-aging of the young cast. Okay, so I know the original kids decided to hit puberty between the two movies, which forced the filmmakers to de-age them for all the flashback scenes. But there were these big halos around their faces, especially on Ben. And whatever process they used, it made Richie's glasses look like he was looking out of Coke bottles. And his glasses did not look that way in Chapter 1. I can forgive the halos to an extent since the movie, it uses the hazy atmosphere that's typical of every flashback scene, but it didn't look consistent on all of the young actors. Some of them had overly smooth skin, and they looked like the camera had been coated with Vaseline just in the spot where their faces appeared. Then the other ones looked normal. I know I said that Bill Skarsgård, he was great as Pennywise, and I still believe that, but we saw way too much of him. Part of the allure of horror movies is that anticipation of the monster. But when you see that monster too much, it completely loses its ability to instill fear in you, and that's what happened here. And speaking of too much, the movie was way too long. I was ready for it to be over at least 30 minutes before the end. While the overall story arc was good, this movie was just a C. And that's me being generous based on how much I liked the first installment. So unless you can't wait to see how it ends, hold off until Redbox or cable. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to check out other episodes of 2 Minute Review and the Manticore Media podcast in video form on YouTube or in audio form on any of your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Google, Stitcher, and Spotify.